There comes a point in life when you realize that not everything deserves your attention, your reaction, or your explanation. You do not need to announce every plan. You do not need to defend every decision, and you certainly do not need to respond to every opinion people have about you. The more you focus on yourself, the less power the outside world has over your inner peace. Silence becomes powerful when it is not born from fear, but from discipline. It means choosing progress over arguments, purpose over distraction, and peace over the need to be understood. Your life begins to change when you stop watching what everyone else is doing and start paying attention to your own mind, habits, goals, and direction. Let people talk, let them misunderstand, let them underestimate you. Your responsibility is not to control their thoughts. Your responsibility is to build yourself today. Remember this. Focus on what you can control, protect your energy, work quietly, grow patiently, and let your results speak when the time is right. One of the greatest forms of inner strength is learning that you do not have to explain yourself to everyone. Many people spend years trying to make others understand their decisions, their dreams, their personality, and the direction they have chosen in life. They explain why they changed, why they left, why they said no, why they are focusing on themselves, and why they no longer accept certain behavior. But the truth is, the more you feel the need to explain every decision, the more you may begin to give other people permission to judge whether your life choices are acceptable. Not everyone will understand you, and that is perfectly fine. People see life through their own experiences, beliefs, fears, and expectations. Someone who does not know your struggles may not understand your strength. Someone who does not know your vision may not understand your decisions. And someone who has already decided to misunderstand you may never be convinced. No matter how carefully you explain yourself, this is why you must learn to trust your own judgment. Before making a decision, think carefully. Reflect on the consequences. Listen to wise advice when necessary, but once you have made your choice, do not spend all your energy running from person to person searching for approval. Your life cannot move forward if you constantly stop to ask everyone whether you are allowed to continue. Silence does not mean that you are weak, afraid, or unable to speak. Sometimes silence means that you understand that an argument is unnecessary. Sometimes it means you have nothing to prove. You know who you are, and you no longer need to fight for every person to see it. Of course, there are moments when communication is important. Honest conversations can solve problems and strengthen relationships. But there is a difference between healthy communication and constantly defending your existence. You do not need to justify every boundary. You do not need to explain why you are protecting your peace. You do not need to reveal every detail of your plans before they happen. Learn to let your actions speak. Instead of arguing about your growth, grow. Instead of announcing your goals, work toward them. Instead of defending your character to everyone, live with integrity. Over time, your consistency will reveal more about you than your explanations ever could. Focus on your path. Let people have their opinions. Let them question you if they choose. Your responsibility is not to control every thought someone has about you. Your responsibility is to remain honest with yourself, disciplined in your actions, and committed to becoming better. The moment you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you begin to save your energy for what truly matters, building the life you were meant to live. It is easy to lose yourself by paying too much attention to the lives of other people. You look at what they have achieved, where they are going, how much money they appear to have, who supports them, and how quickly they seem to be moving forward. Without realizing it, your attention slowly leaves your own life. Your energy becomes invested in watching, comparing, judging, and wondering why your journey does not look like theirs. But your path was never meant to be an exact copy of someone else's. The moment you constantly compare yourself to others, you create unnecessary dissatisfaction. You may forget how far you have already come because you are too busy looking at someone who appears to be further ahead. You may begin to feel behind even when you are making real progress. But life is not a competition where everyone begins at the same place and follows the same road. Everyone carries different experiences, opportunities, struggles, responsibilities, and lessons. What takes one person a year may take another person 5 years. What comes easily to someone else may require great patience and discipline from you. That does not mean you are failing. It simply means that your journey is your own. Bring your attention back to yourself. Ask yourself what needs to improve in your life. Perhaps your mind needs more discipline. Perhaps your body needs more care. Perhaps you need to develop a new skill, become more consistent, manage your emotions, or finally take action on something you have been delaying. These are the questions that create growth. Instead of asking why someone else is successful, ask what you can learn, practice, and improve. Today, you do not need to know every detail about what other people are doing. You do not need to constantly check who is winning, who is changing, who is watching you, or who has moved ahead. That information rarely builds your future. Your attention is valuable, and whatever receives your attention receives your energy. Imagine what could happen if you gave more time to your goals than to your distractions. Imagine if you spent less time comparing and more time creating, less time watching and more time practicing, less time worrying about other people's opinions, and more time strengthening your own mind. The greatest transformation often begins quietly. No announcement is required. You simply decide that your life deserves your full attention. You wake up and begin making better choices. You become more disciplined. You protect your time. You learn from your mistakes instead of repeating them. Focus on your own path, even when progress feels slow. A small improvement repeated every day eventually becomes a powerful transformation. Stop measuring your worth against someone else's journey. Look inward, take responsibility, and continue moving forward. The more you focus on building yourself, the less time you will have to worry about anyone else. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you possess. Yet many people give it away without realizing it. They allow every comment, every criticism, every rumor, and every disagreement to control their emotions. Someone says something negative, and they spend the entire day thinking about it. Someone misunderstands them, and they feel the need to immediately defend themselves. Someone tries to provoke them, and they react without thinking. Little by little, their peace disappears because they have allowed other people to control their emotional state. This is why learning to stay silent can become a powerful form of self-control. Silence does not mean that you have no voice. It does not mean that you are weak or incapable of defending yourself. True silence is a choice. It is the ability to recognize when speaking will create more problems than solutions. It is understanding that not every argument deserves your attention and not every person deserves access to your emotions. When you react immediately, you often give your emotions control over your actions. Anger speaks before wisdom has time to think. Frustration makes decisions that calmness would never make. But when you pause, you create space between what happens to you and how you respond. In that space, you regain control. You begin to ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? Will responding improve the situation? Or am I simply allowing someone else to pull me away from my peace? Many arguments have no real purpose. Some people do not want understanding, they want conflict. Some people do not ask questions because they want answers, they ask because they want to challenge you. If you give your attention to every provocation, you may spend your entire life fighting battles that were never yours to fight. Learn to choose your battles wisely. Sometimes the strongest response is to remain calm. Sometimes it is to walk away. Sometimes it is to say nothing and allow time to reveal the truth. You do not always need the final word. You do not always need to prove that you are right. Peace is often more valuable than winning an argument. Protecting your energy also means becoming aware of what repeatedly drains you. Pay attention to the conversations, environments, habits, and people that leave your mind exhausted. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can become more disciplined about what you allow to enter your mind. The more control you gain over your reactions, the stronger you become. People may still criticize you, problems may still appear, difficult individuals may still try to disturb your peace. But you no longer give them automatic access to your emotions. Stay calm. Think before you speak. Do not allow temporary emotions to create permanent consequences. Your silence can protect your energy, and your self-control can protect your future. The person who learns to master their reactions discovers a freedom that no argument, criticism, or outside opinion can easily take away. There is a difference between talking about the life you want and actually building it. Many people spend a great deal of time announcing their goals, explaining their plans, and telling others what they are going to accomplish. They speak about the business they will start, the habits they will develop, the person they will become, and the success they will achieve. But words can sometimes create the illusion of progress. Talking about the work may feel satisfying, yet nothing truly changes until you take action. Learn to work quietly. You do not need to announce every step of your journey. Not every goal needs to be shared, and not every plan needs an audience. Some things grow better in silence. When you constantly tell people what you are planning to do, you may invite unnecessary opinions, doubts, criticism, and distractions into something that is still developing. Some people may not understand your vision, others may question your ability, some may laugh before you have even had the opportunity to begin. If you allow every outside opinion to influence your decisions, you may lose focus before your work has had time to grow. This is why silence can protect your progress. Instead of spending your energy explaining what you will do, use that energy to do it. Wake up and practice. Study when nobody is watching. Improve your skills behind closed doors. Build discipline on the days when you do not feel motivated. Continue even when there is no applause and no one recognizes your effort. Real progress does not always look exciting. Often, it is repetitive, quiet, and invisible. It is choosing to continue when you feel tired. It is making better decisions when nobody is there to praise you. It is staying committed to your goals long before the results become visible. Do not become discouraged if people do not notice your effort. You are not working to impress everyone. You are working to transform yourself. Every small action you repeat is building something within you. A stronger mind, better habits, greater discipline, more confidence. Let your results become your introduction. There is no need to argue with people about what you are capable of. There is no need to convince everyone that you will succeed. Time and consistent action will reveal what words cannot. While others are talking, you can be learning. While others are doubting, you can be improving. While others are watching, you can be moving forward. This does not mean you should never share your dreams with anyone. Trusted people can offer support, guidance, and encouragement. But be selective about who receives access to your plans. Protect what you are building until it becomes strong enough to stand on its own. Work in silence, but work with purpose. Let your focus become deeper than your need for attention. One day, the progress you quietly created will become impossible to ignore. And when that moment comes, you will understand that your actions spoke louder than anything you could have said. If your confidence depends entirely on what other people think about you, your peace will always remain outside your control. One day, someone praises you and you feel valuable. The next day, someone criticizes you and suddenly you begin questioning yourself. Someone ignores you and you wonder what you did wrong. Someone approves of your decision and you feel confident. Someone disagrees and your confidence begins to disappear. This is an exhausting way to live. You must learn to build your sense of worth from within. View violation can feel good, but it should never become the foundation of your identity. Compliments are pleasant, recognition is encouraging, and support from others can be meaningful. But none of these things should determine whether you believe you are worthy, capable, or enough. There will always be people who do not understand your choices. There will always be people who think you should live differently. Some will criticize your appearance, your goals, your personality, or your decisions. If you try to satisfy everyone, you will eventually lose yourself trying to become the person they want you to be. Instead, ask yourself a different question. Am I proud of the person I am becoming? That question brings your attention back to what truly matters. Are you becoming more disciplined? Are you keeping the promises you make to yourself? Are you learning from your mistakes? Are you treating yourself and others with respect? Are you moving toward the life you genuinely want? These are the things that create lasting confidence. Real confidence is not walking into every room believing that everyone must admire you. Real confidence is being able to enter a room without needing anyone to admire you. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you are working toward. Because of that, other people's opinions no longer have the power to completely define your emotional state. You also need to become comfortable with making progress that nobody notices. Not every achievement will receive applause. Sometimes you will change quietly, you will become more patient, more disciplined, more peaceful, and more focused, and nobody will immediately recognize it. That does not make the transformations less valuable. Do not abandon your progress simply because nobody is watching. Learn to celebrate your own growth. Give yourself credit for the battles you fought privately. Recognize the moments when you chose discipline over comfort, silence over unnecessary conflict, and progress over distraction. When you stop chasing validation, something powerful happens. You become freer, You stop performing for attention and start living according to your values. You stop changing yourself to fit every environment and begin building a life that feels authentic to you. Your worth does not increase because someone praises you, and it does not decrease because someone rejects you. Their opinion belongs to them. Your responsibility is to know yourself, respect yourself, and continue becoming better. Focus on becoming someone you can respect when you are alone, when you no longer need constant approval from the outside world. Your confidence becomes quieter, stronger, and much harder to take away. There is a certain freedom that comes when you stop needing everyone to understand you. Being misunderstood can be uncomfortable, especially when you know your intentions were good. You may want to correct every false assumption, explain every decision, and prove that the version of you someone believes in is not the real you. But the truth is, you cannot control how another person chooses to see you. People will interpret your actions through their own experiences. Someone may see your silence as arrogance. Someone may see your boundaries as rejection. Someone may see your confidence as pride. Someone may misunderstand your distance and assume you are angry. If you spend your life correcting every interpretation, you will constantly be defending yourself instead of living your life. Learn to become comfortable with being misunderstood. This does not mean ignoring legitimate problems or refusing to communicate when communication is necessary. There are moments when you should explain yourself, apologize, clarify your intentions, or have an honest conversation. But there is also a point where explanation becomes exhaustion. When someone has already decided what they want to believe about you, no amount of explanation may change their mind. At that point, silence can become your protection. You do not need to chase people who walked away because they misunderstood you. You do not need to beg someone to recognize your value. You do not need to convince people that your intentions were good. Give people the freedom to have their opinions and give yourself the freedom to keep moving forward. Your character is revealed over time. One conversation cannot fully define who you are. One mistake cannot define your entire life. One person's opinion cannot become the final judgment of your character. Continue living with honesty, discipline, kindness, and integrity. Eventually, your consistent actions will reveal what your words could never fully explain. There is also tremendous strength in realizing that not everyone needs access to the deepest parts of you. Some people only know a version of you based on what they have seen. That is okay. You are not required to reveal every thought, every struggle, every dream, or every reason behind your decisions. Protect your privacy. Protect your peace. Protect the parts of your life that are still growing. When you become comfortable being misunderstood, you stop performing for an audience. You stop changing your personality simply to make other people comfortable. You stop sacrificing your boundaries just to avoid being judged. You begin to live according to your values rather than according to other people's expectations. And something beautiful happens. Your attention returns to your own life. You become less interested in proving and more interested in becoming, less interested in arguing and more interested in growing, less interested in being seen and more interested in living with purpose. Let people think what they think. Let them talk if they choose. You cannot control their perception, but you can control your character. Keep walking your path. Stay grounded. Stay silent when silence is wiser. Let your consistency speak for you. In the end, you do not need everyone to understand you. You only need to remain true to yourself and continue becoming the person you know you are capable of becoming.